As we mentioned at the top of this hour, a man died in Wilson County when his home collapsed. The second floor collapsing onto the first floor. It is the first death in this part of North Carolina that we are talking about. WRO's Eric Miller is in that region. You see the house right there. Rescuers were just able to get to him not too long ago. 60-year-old Brian Barnes. His family confirmed to WRAL. Let's go to Eric live. Eric, you're about a mile away from that house right now for safety reasons, and first responders are trying to keep that area clear. Tell us what you've been able to gather from people on the ground there, not only first responders, but relatives and perhaps neighbors.
Well, Gerald, we're just down Lloyd Road from the Barnes household. You know, that the worst of the damage we're seeing in this area. But you see these other folks, they didn't get off easy. Just look at this home right here. The roof completely ripped off by this tornado. Trees brought down all around on this home as well as on the car itself. You can see this car smeared with bits of home insulation that's been ripped out of surrounding buildings and flung like confetti all around this neighborhood. As we head over this way, you can see not just these trees brought down, but these pines over here absolutely snapped like kindling, and then these outbuildings here ripped to pieces. You may be able to hear in the background the whine of chainsaws. That's because we actually have two different church mission groups who, as soon as first responders lifted the roadblock around here, they were in here, they were helping. We know there were two people inside the home you're looking at right here that was lifted up off of its foundation. Significant damage to the roof there, significant damage to the siding. We know one of those people is in the hospital right now recovering, the other amazingly okay. Again, you can see that home pulled off of its foundation, sitting right down on the ground at this point. We know the woman, the elderly woman who is in the brick house here off to my right, she is doing okay as well. Talking to folks out here with these mission groups, they say that is nothing less than a miracle with the amount of damage, the amount of destruction we're seeing from this storm. Looking around, what's happening right here is essentially a salvage operation. These folks taking any and all of the furniture, the personal belongings, items that they can, loading them up into these trailers to try to get them out of here before more rain comes in. We've got some big, heavy, ominous, angry-looking clouds hanging out on the horizon here that have been looking like they're moving this way. So this is kind of a race against the clock to try to recover as many personal items as possible before that rain could move in. Both of the homes we're seeing right here, they've lost their roofs. The brick home here, we're told, really a horror show inside. The damage in there much more complete than the home off to my right, the home with the white siding. So crews trying to salvage what they can in that situation, but a much more difficult job. And this isn't the only damage here. We've got the Barnes house, we've got these two houses, but this tornado continued on, damaging multiple other homes here, ripping off other roofs, taking off other siding there, but miraculously no major injuries on this stretch of Lloyd Road, despite the obvious power of this tornado. Again, you know, there's that old saying, that old Mr. Rogers saying, in a disaster you look for the helpers, and today on Lloyd Road, well, they're very easy to find.